Hi, Natasha. Thank you for joining us. If you have a question for Natasha Mack, please raise your hand. We'll begin with Eric Wilson with WKII. Eric, please go ahead.
Natasha, appreciate your time. Just wanted to get your thoughts on being back with the Sky.
Well, my thoughts, it feels good to be back. You know, any opportunity I get, I'm going to make the most of it.
And, coming in, what have you seen that may have been different between training camping now as far as this team, how they are piecing things together, especially on the defensive side of the ball where you excel at?
That hustle, they get every effort from defense, and then their chemistry is just amazing, and it's great to be a part of it.
Thank you so much. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Next question with Annie Costabile from the Chicago Sun-Times. Annie, please go ahead.
Hey, Tasha, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. Back with the team, how are you approaching this opportunity, knowing that it is, in a sense, a limited time that you're with the team?
I'm really enjoying every moment of it because there's some players who's not even back. And so to have this opportunity, they brought me back. I'm going to make the most of it, do whatever they ask of me, and give it my all.
Absolutely. And then, hours ahead of your first WNBA game, what are your emotions like this morning?
They're going crazy. Like, I'm trying to contain it. It's going wild. I'm so excited. I'm screaming with joy.
Definitely. And then lastly for you, you spoke very candidly about your learning curve entering the WNBA and entering training camp with the Sky. Now back with the team, what has been your biggest focus as far as adjusting again, like you mentioned in training camp, to the speed and other aspects of your game that you felt you needed to, I guess you could say, improve or just adjust now playing professionally?
Really just improve a little on my offense. Defense, comes natural. I'm really good at, guarding things. And so any way I can help offense-wise, I'm willing to help.
Awesome. Thank you.
Next question from Cheryl Ray Stout with WBEZ. Cheryl, please go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Natasha. Thanks for doing this. Did you watch the game on Saturday? Yes. And if you did, okay, then what did you see in the game that now you can use when you play tonight? Is there something you saw that could to help you with your game?
I saw people who, like each other, respect each other, and learning from each other. And so I could take all that in and apply it, getting as much help as possible, taking every criticism that comes my way.
Has Coach Wade talked to you about your role tonight?
No, not yet. We haven't had that talk yet.
What would you like to hear him say to you?
Just, go out there, be a great teammate, and, defense-wise, try to deflect everything I can.
Thanks.
Next question from Nick Hamilton with Nightcast Media. Nick, please go ahead.
Hey, Natasha. How surprised were you when you got the call that you were able to return to the Sky? You take us through that situation?
I was very shocked. I was honestly on my way driving back home from the store. So when I got there, I was like, whoa, okay, that's crazy. I didn't unpack my bag, so I was ready to go instantly.
And when you look at the dynamic of this team, what specific area do you feel like you would add to or be an asset to as far as helping this team gain wins?
Really, controlling rebounds and deflecting everything I can.
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Next question will be from Chris Pennant with The Next. Chris, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Natasha. Thanks for taking the time out. With this being an Olympic year and other things going on, did anybody, the managers or anybody, did anybody kind of tell you to like get picked up by the Sky or by another team after training camp?
After training camp, when I had got waived, my agent just said, be ready. You never know who's going to call, who wants to take the opportunity with you. And so I was just stay ready for anything.
I know you said that after the draft, you have been working on your offense, specifically jump shooting and outside shooting. How's that progressed since then?
Oh, it's gotten better, day by day process.
All right, thank you, Tasha.
Next question will be from Noah Wilkes with Beyond Women's Sports. Noah, please go ahead.
Hey, Natasha, welcome back. I just wanted to ask you, do you feel like it's easier coming back to the Sky because you did training camp with them? So does it feel like the chemistry is still there and the connection is still there? So do you feel like the transition is easier coming back with them rather than probably starting over with a new team?
I would say it's a little easier because, you know, I got to know everybody during training camp and they welcomed me back with open arms. And so it felt a little easier because I just knew everybody. Everybody knew me.
And I have one more question for you. If you can pick your ideal stat line for tonight, what would it be in your first game?
Ideal stat line. I mean, I really want to go for a double-double. If I can get that, I'll be happy.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
We'll go back to Cheryl Ray Stout, WBZ. Cheryl?
I didn't have my hand on, I'm sorry.
No problem. Nick Hamilton.
Oh, sorry.
All
I
right,
was just
all
my
good,
hand
everyone.
up.
Natasha, we're all set. Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
We'll have Diamond to Shields up next. And the shields will be up shortly. Thank you for your patience. Hey, Diamond, thank you for joining us. If you have a question for Diamond to Shields, please do raise your hand. We'll begin with Annie Costable of the Chicago Sun-Times. Annie, please go ahead.
Hey, Diamond, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. From game 1 to 2, what is the biggest adjustment for yourself, if any?
The biggest adjustment I think is just to continue to be patient, you know, continue to play within myself and figure out what's working for me within the system that we have, especially defensively, and sticking to that, playing off that.
Steph said that you were the first one in the gym shooting the other day, and I wonder if that's, common for you. Are you frequently the first one in the gym in the morning?
Yeah. I'm usually there before anybody gets there, really. The only person that might get there before me is James. I'm usually there. If we got practice at 10, I'm usually in the gym around 7. So.
Okay, thanks.
Next question from James K with W Insider. James, please go ahead.
Hey, Diamond, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. It feels like you've improved as a facilitator every year you've been in the league, and I'm just curious if that is something that you focus on in the off season, just enhancing that part of your game.
Yeah, I just want to be more of a playmaker. I don't want to be a scorer because I can do so much more. I'm in this league, I feel like, because of my ability to make plays. And so every year I hope to be able to continue to improve on that.
Yeah, definitely. So you kind of answered this a little bit already, but just what are your first impressions so far? After one game, it seemed like it was a really important win for you guys to get off to a good start. What were your first impressions from what you saw after the game?
Yeah, my first impressions were, obviously it was just a good start. And that's all it was. Nothing more, nothing less. We know how hard it is to get wins on the road in this league, so it was great to get one early. But we just got to continue to build on that. Can't settle there. We have so much more that we want to prove and improve on. So it was a good start. That's really my only first impression.
Absolutely. Thanks for your time.
Next question from Nove Wilkes with Beyond Women's Sports. Nove, please go ahead.
Hey, Diamond, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to ask you that with Allie being out tonight and Azure, do you feel like you have to step up more scoring, or do you feel like it's enough offensive weapons around to where you can still just focus on the defense and play within the defense and focus on what you're trying to focus on in the system?
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of our team. When one goes down, it's like we sprout two new legs, right? We'll get more contribution from Stephanie Watts, from Ruthie. Our bench is going to step up more, Brittany Boyd. But we have capable scorers 1 through 5 every time we're out on the floor. So when one of us goes down, it's not going to put a huge dent in our offensive productivity. But we always have to defend. And so that's just going to continue to be our focus.
Thank you, Diamond.
Next question from Cheryl Ray Stout with WBEZ. Cheryl, please go ahead.
Hello, Diamond. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Cheryl. How are you?
I'm almost perfect. Diamond, well, you guys now been on the road for 2 games. Have you noticed the difference? Because when you were in Florida, you guys were, pretty much contained what you can do. How is it different? What kind of restrictions do you have?
Well, it really depends on whether or not you're vaccinated. And everybody wants to be safe. So even if you are vaccinated, we're still kind of moving within a certain bubble-ish setting. But it's not really too restrictive, right? On the road, you're here for work. We're here for business. So it's not too restrictive. The only thing that is just annoying is having to get tested every day, every morning. But in that, it's not terrible.
Did you feel the fans there Saturday? And how does that create energy for a team?
Absolutely. I mean, just to see and hear other voices in the arena outside of our own was really, really nice and refreshing. Even though they weren't our fans, I still love the environment, and it does a lot for the in-game experience. I think last year really showed the importance of having fans. We love the fans, whether they're for us or against us. So I'm just really happy to have them back, even though it's a little bit right now.
Thanks a lot.
Next question will be from Eric Wilson with WKII. Eric, please go ahead.
Diamond, appreciate your time as always. So one game in and y'all are on track for that Commissioner's Cup money. So, you know what I'm saying? Wanted to talk to you because you talked about it, defense. How do you feel your defense played against Washington? And what do you think you need to work on moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think our defense was pretty solid. There's always room for improvement, right? Like it wasn't perfect. And I think that the thing that we can improve on is just playing defense for 40 minutes, right? There were periods of time in the Washington game where we weren't as aggressive and maybe lost focus a little bit. So, as we get into the season more and more, just gonna have to be more focused on doing it consistently for all 4 quarters.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Diamond.
Thanks.
Next question will be from Nick Hamilton with Nightcast Media. Nick, please go ahead.
Hey, Diamond, you talked about consistent defense on you all's end, but what makes this Atlanta Dream team so hard to defend or complicated to defend at times?
Well, they have a lot of one-on-one players. So this is going to be a game of matchups. You're going to have to be able to guard your player one-on-one. And this Atlanta team has plenty of talent offensively, lots of athleticism, speed, quickness, all of that. So it'll be a good challenge for us, for sure.
Thank you.
All right, Diamond, we're all set. Thank you very much.
All right. Appreciate
We'll
y'all.
We'll have James Wade up next. Hey, James, thank you for joining us.
How you doing?
Good, good. If you have a question for head coach and general manager James Wade, please raise your hand. We'll begin with Cheryl Ray Stout of WBEZ. Cheryl, please go ahead.
Hi, James. How you doing today?
All right, how you doing, Cheryl?
Okie dokie. James, how tough or how easy is it to coach against a coach that's just new to the team?
I mean, it's difficult, especially so early. You don't know what their habits are, so you just try to gauge. But so that's when you tend to lean a little bit personnel-wise. You see the sets that they run, the sets that they like, but you also see who takes responsibility in those sets, and so you try to gauge and lean on those things.
Is it one of those things where when you get into the game, it's like within the first few minutes, or maybe before the first time out, you get a feel for it?
It's a process. So we look at their habits before and the things that they like to run, like after timeouts and in the quarters and stuff like that, and we just gauge from there. So they've already had 3 games. One of them is one that was official, so we'll lean more toward that and uploading our information of what they did during the series game, we derive from the playing time that the players played and what sets they liked, and so that's how we just try to gauge.
Great, thank you.
Next question will be from Annie Constable with the Chicago Sun-Times.
Hey, James, do you have the starters for tonight's game yet? Projected starters?
Yeah, projected starters are Sloop, God, Diamond, Candace, and Esther.
Awesome. And then can you elaborate on Allie being out due to her hamstring? What's going on there?
It's the same thing. We thought it was something that we didn't want to force right now. So we saw a stretch, a game where we probably could give her a little bit more rest on it and manage it and try to get it down to a 0 before we evaluate it again. I think if it's a playoff game, she made a good play. But we just want to be smart with everybody and just try to pay attention to their bodies and know that this season is long and it's a grind. So no need to, put so much stress on the hamstring right now, and try to heal it and get it down to 0, and then we can just go from there.
And then lastly for me, what are our keys to today's game that you've been preaching to your team ahead of today?
The keys to the game, my coaches did a great job. Which you want to know, defensively or offensively?
I mean, if you want to just send us a screenshot of what that looks like.
That will not work.
I guess, yeah, defensively first and then, offensively.
Transition is going to be a key. Protecting the paint is going to be another key, and being able to stay in front of our matchups. And
then offensively, anything you care to share?
We have to run and screen them, and look to share the ball and move the ball as much as possible.
Awesome, thanks.
Next question will be from Eric Wilson with WKII. Eric, please go ahead.
Coach, as always, appreciate your time. Could you just speak to, the bringing back of Natasha Mack? What was it about her that, when you were going through the process, you were like, okay, she's definitely someone we want to bring back if possible?
She was good for us in camp. Without that, defensively, you have a team that's trying to make their way about them defensively and improve defensively, and we thought that she was a good fit for us trying to do that. We had the opportunity to bring in someone because of Steph leaving and NC more than likely not playing tonight. And so we saw her, someone that knows our system, knows our stuff, and is actually a great teammate. And so we just feel like this could be a longer evaluation where we see her a little bit, a couple of days in practice or whatever, and in a game, and just see how it goes.
And then if you could, Coach, just provide an update with regards to Shyla.
Shyla is at home in Chicago watching the game. She should pass through protocols after this game. So, but you're not through it until you're through it. So we're just on wait and see. So right now she's doing everything that she's supposed to do. She's done individual workouts and stuff like that. And now it's just about her getting through the rest of the protocol so she can be with the team.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll do 2 more questions for James Wade. First with Nick Hamilton from Nightcast Media.
Good afternoon, Coach Wade. How are you?
All right. How you doing, Nick?
Doing good. You talked about earlier about what your game plan was going to be on offense and defense, but essentially what makes this Atlanta Dream team so hard to at times to defend and contain?
They're explosive. They're super explosive at a multitude of positions. When a lot of teams, they have players that come in the game as a third rotation that don't have a lot of experience, but that's not the case with this Atlanta Dream team. Every player that they have at the guard spot is a hard guard, and we just have to be locked in for 40 minutes and trying to stay in front of the guards, and that's going to be a task. But I think.
And also, I know it's earlier in the season, but what have you seen from your team in Game 1 that is moving a step closer to where you have that team identity that you guys had set out to be before the season began?
I just like the intent that we had in defensively, trying to stop players off the dribble, and it just wasn't a one-on-one thing. It was the entire team was committed to it. People knew they had help behind them, so they were able to give the extra effort, and so that's what we want to see.
Thank you, Coach.
Final question for James will be from Noah Wilkes with Beyond Women's Sports.
How you doing today, Coach Wade?
Hey, Noah, how you doing? I'm doing good, thanks.
I'm doing good. I just wanted to ask you about Stephanie Watts. I know she didn't get a lot of time in training camp with you guys because of the trade and everything that went down. I just want to ask you, how do you feel like she's coming along now in practice now that she got some time with the team underneath her, and how do you see her fitting in Chicago's offense?
Oh, we love her progression. Her energy is amazing. you know, in her ability to affect plays defensively and offensively. She has a skill set and a talent that you try to get out of players, and that, a lot of that is about her energy and her ability to listen and actually execute on the next play what you want. And so we see that in her, and we like it. And now, you know, it's just about her growing into the role that she can help us with, and us, you know, giving her the opportunity to grow in that role. And I think, you know, with Allie being out, and it's going to happen. She just has to be ready.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. See you tonight.
Yes, we will.